Hello everyone, I hope you guys all had a really good week with the trading, with the trade days and the hours were pretty good. Today I want to go over something I put in the members area. I touched base on that on the weekly wrap-up video yesterday, but I think it's important to go over it, and the reason is so that we can kind of have a flow. Now with timing, let me just put it straight again. At the Global Trader Club, we are focused on timing. Whatever your technical analysis method is, it'll work if you time and price it according to your technical analysis correctly. Do I have tools for technical analysis? Yeah, I do, but you don't have to use them. The important thing at Global Trader Club is time. When is the market going to turn? What hours are important? And in between which hours are we looking for certain things in the market so we don't waste our time and we don't lose our trades, and our high probability of trading is always going to be more than like 60-70%. That's the whole idea. And the idea behind it is taking the good trades, minimizing risk, maximizing your profit. Obviously, that's the whole idea. And also doing all that with reduced anxiety, because you don't have to be stuck in front of the computer looking for setups. You know what day to trade, you know what hours to trade. The days give you a summary as to what we can expect, which are highly likely true. And I've been demonstrating that on like hundreds of videos. Also, what the week is holding up for us in the weekly insight. So knowing all of that in advance is already like saving us a lot of stress, because I'm like, okay, these are the days I need to look out for. And according to my trade setups, my technical analysis, let's just do it. Okay. And that really builds a lot of confidence, because you're not chasing a trade. If you miss out on a setup because you're sleeping in the Asia session, or you're not in the New York session, it's not a problem, because you know when setups are going to happen during the day and at which days. So you can prepare in advance, and this is like something that nobody else gives. So let's take a look at how we can get our heads around it and see how practical, efficient, and effective this is. Now I'm going to get rid of the camera so we can have a better look at the screen. So let me just do this. Okay, so here we are. Now, in the members area, let's just go back to the beginning here, right? So when you enter the members area, you're going to have these two things. This is for technical analysis. If you want to see what kind of technical analysis you can do, I'll put here cause and consequence as the main thing, because you'll see me drawing rectangles on the chart all the time. Basically, support, resistance, demand, supply, order block, whatever you want to call it. For me, it's all the same thing. Where did they buy heavy? Where did they sell heavy? Does that level match a trade day? If yes, what hours should I be looking at? That's simple. It's just, you don't have to make life complicated at all. Markets are only going to go three ways. We're going to go up, down, or sideways. That's it. And then all we have to do is follow it to a target. And this is why the way I trade with the price levels, that's what I do. I take it to a target with my indicators. Now let's go into the time portal. This is where all our timing is. And the first thing you want to do is come here into the start here zone and just read this, how you want to use this. The whole idea about using, let's prepare for Dow Jones, let's say, right? This week we'll choose Dow Jones as a preparation. The whole idea is how to use this report in a way where you'll be able to see what's happening. All right, so we'll have let's move forward. This is the new format. No, this is not the new format. The new format is going to be out in September, and you're really going to love it, because it's just going to give you the important stuff, and we won't have a bunch of dates following through. All right, so this is, let's say, Monday the 3rd of August. So we'll come to the most recent one, okay, which is here, right? So I've got weekly insights, Sunday the 23rd to Saturday the 29th. Now there's a reason why I take Sunday and Saturday, simply because we're calculating market cycles. This is a mathematical calculation, and cycles, they don't know our trading day, our trading days are Monday to Friday. So cycles can happen on a Sunday. If it happens on a Sunday, it'll push into Monday. If it happens on a Saturday, it'll pull Friday into it. And this is why every week with me starts with a Sunday, ends with a Saturday. Okay, so that's the logic behind it. And obviously, you'll get Sunday as well. Now, this is the weekly insight portion, and I'm going to touch base on how to go over this again, because I think it's important to get our heads around it. So when you come in there, the first thing you want to do is open up a CycleEdge report on whatever you're trading. At the Global Trader Club, we only have gold, euro, dollar, Bitcoin, SP 500, Dow Jones, and NASDAQ. But if you want something specific for whatever you're trading, check out the website, globaltraderclub.com. In there, there's also custom analysis, which I can do for 1 year, and you can trade. You can go for that for one. You can use it for any asset. You can get a CycleEdge report for any asset for any amount of time you like. Okay. So this portal contains all current and forward market intelligence, technical analysis, research, and archived weekly reports. Now, technical analysis is on you because that's your specific style of trading, and every person sees the world differently. This is why a lot of people on YouTube share their strategies, but for many people it doesn't work. Why is that? Because you are not that person who's doing that style of trading, or the way he does it according to that style is not how you see things. We see the world differently. So you have to have a setup that you're comfortable with. So watching all those YouTube videos is really a waste of time. Learn technical analysis and see what matches your style. This is why at the Global Trader Club, when we do technical analysis courses, I don't do them anymore actually, but when I used to teach traders 5 different styles. Why? Because you're going to be comfortable with one of them. Okay, there isn't a lot of things to know here, because at the end of the day, markets are going to go up, down, or side. But the important thing is what to do when you spot that situation. What to do if you understand the market is going up. What to do if it's going sideways. What to do if it's going down. So if you understand that, then you can customize your knowledge to a certain style of trading you like and you're comfortable with. Where does timing come into it? Well, timing comes into it because it tells you when to trade and when not to trade. So that's the important thing. And this is why the weekly timing is really important. It tells you what days to look out for. Now, the CycleEdge report, Advanced Market Timing Report. Why is it an Advanced Market Timing Report? First of all, if you take a look at this, nobody will tell you what's going on in the day. If you take a look at, this is the weekly insight. Let's take a look at the day. Let's just take any day, for example, right? Let's just go up. This is Saturday, so let's go into, let's say, Friday. All right. So this is Thursday the 27th, right? Let's say, for example, this is next week. So you can see this is going to be an important, high-tension, critical day. No report will tell you what to expect in between certain hours. These are highly likely going to happen. I'm not saying 100%, but highly likely. That highly likely situation is enough to get you across the line and to make profit. Why? You will, if you do a bit of research, you'll note that with proper trading, money management, a 50.78% can turn money into millions and billions. That's what most hedge funds do. They don't have 70-80% win rates. Anything above 50 is good. Even with less than 50, with proper money management, you can still make a lot of money. And most traders are less than 50% success rate, but they got good money management. So what is this doing for us? Well, this is going to increase our hit rate because we're not going to be diving into anything just according to technical analysis. Technical analysis is there. Then you got the timing, what to expect. All right. And I've this is the 27th of August, right? So Let's go to the 26th so you can check it out. This is the 26th, high critical. So Wednesday, Thursday, I better look out. All right. And again, look, alert windows, sustained pressure. And then I've got accordingly, like what hours are good. So if I already know, like I should look out for 7 o'clock, 8:50, 12:30, 10 past 11. If I already know what to look out for, right, then I don't have to stress about it because I know those are the hours which I want to be, match my setup to. You see, I got Tuesday is a low. So I got a daily insight. So this is important because I've got something happening which is leaving an extreme range. Overshoot condition ends. So look, this is a classical setup for a market that's highly likely going to turn, and it's going to do it with a critical move on a Wednesday. Looks like a pump and dump situation. All right. So that, you're like already getting your head around it, thinking, okay, so this is how this week's going to pan out. Obviously, you'd start looking from Monday on, because I'm going from weekly insight upwards. We're seeing the days like Friday onwards, but you'd start with Monday. Say, okay, so we've got a neutral base. I check out the alert windows today, see what's happening, and that's it. So you can see here in the notes, not much happening, so we're probably going to have a sideways market. The market probably recovering from the moves that it did, and then on Tuesday we're going to probably, the way things are looking, stop sweep. All right, overshoot condition ends. Maybe we'll stop sweep the markets, and then we'll need to check where people are trapped with their breakout entries, and then we'll say, okay, that sounds like a good thing. Let me set up for that. And then when do I have Action Jackson days happening? Well, it's Wednesday, and then I've got Thursday, and then let's see what's happening on Friday. Well, on Friday, by the time it's Friday, look, the whole thing is over. All right, so we see that the overshoot condition ends. Normal technical levels reassert. So by Friday, we should hit targets. And that's it. So your whole week in advance is already set up here. All you have to do is follow it with focus and just follow it through. I'm not saying this is 100%. Obviously, there's no such thing as 100%, but it's already giving me a heads up as to what's happening, when it's happening, and the hours to look at. Now, once you get your head around that, by the way, in the CycleEdge report section here, I've specifically prepared a CycleEdge user guide. Just click on it, download it, keep it on your desktop, go over it, understand it. And, it's really practical and easy. And even if you have questions, just write to me. Okay. Now, in this section, again, I'm going back to the start here section. Once you get your head around CycleEdge, which is not difficult at all, you can see it's just an easy report. It's plain English. It's not giving you gibberish. And I've specifically done it in a way that it's just one sentence. Okay. So vector day, routine, neutral, baseline. Okay, so if we have a move, I want to follow it through, don't I? I just want to follow through what's happening from Wednesday. All right. If I've got the setup on Tuesday, look, Tuesday, it's already warning me. Listen, we're leaving extreme range, and it's giving me a time for it. 7 o'clock, look out for this zone. So I'm thinking, okay, 7 o'clock. What do I have before 7? Look at that. 3:05 to 6:35 in the morning. Remember, this is UTC +3, my time zone. Okay. Here, as you can see, right, Istanbul time zone. Because I live in South Turkey, right, southern part of Turkey. And now I've got this, look. So I already know what to look out for. Well, wait a minute. If I've got a flash breakout volatility happening at 6:35, I've got another one happening 6:35, 10:45 breakout volatility. This is where stops should be swept. This is coming into London opening. This is the Asia session. This is London opening. 10:45. My time is going to be 8:45 London. So I'm thinking, okay, what about the hours? What have I got? Well, I can get into a trade around 11:40. Okay, that sounds good. Oh, and look at that, 4:45. What's 4:45? That's 9:45 New York. in the morning. Okay, so I've got the New York morning setups here. Look, this is the New York time, exchange time, and this is my local time here. When CycleEdge software becomes available, it's not available right now because I'm working on it. The maths is all done, but still, you'll be able to put your own time. It'll be your own time here, wherever you're living, right? Whatever time zone you're in. But you see, you can check the time zones here, and this is New York time session. So all you have to do is just convert the hours. So then you know what to look for in advance. So just get your head around that. You should be fine. Now here, I've just asked AI, ChatGPT actually. I gave it the report, and I gave CycleEdge the CycleEdge report to ChatGPT, and I said to it, listen, can you get me a data analysis? I want to know how we did. I'll share that data analysis at the end of the video as well, if you're curious about it. So I want to know what's our success rate according to the turns in the market. So I gave it the prices, and it did it. Now, and I also asked it at the end, I got curious, right? I said, okay, you know what? You now know what the CycleEdge report does. It times the market. If you were to develop a technical analysis strategy for working with CycleEdge, how would you do it? And it just gave me this, right? So CycleEdge gives the time window. Price action gives the direction. Risk management decides whether the trade is allowed. So it already understood what I'm getting at. And this is exactly how you should be trading. So I was like, okay, that is exactly spot on, because it's giving me the day and the time, and I'm looking for a technical level, and I just want to do it with a good risk return ratio. That's all. 3 things I have to do. Okay? Now that 3 things, it divided up into a bunch of things that I should be doing. One of them is the daily preparation rule. This is great. You should be hopefully doing it on Sunday if you can. And if you can't do it Sunday, obviously do it at a time when the market is nice and quiet and you can focus. So every day, check the CycleEdge report and classify the day into one of 4 trading conditions. A plus, B, C, no trade day. So you want to take the good trades, and it already tells you what's going on. Weekly trade day, high tension, critical, apex. Okay, it's already telling you, okay, you know what, this is the day to look out for. Gray day, intraday windows. Check these out on the CycleEdge report. Strong vector category. This is A plus. When all the conditions are like bingo: shock, drain, gain, peak, flow. Multiple alert windows in the same 24-hour period. B trading day, trade selectively if there's a structural volatile day, grade A or B windows, clear vector category, prices near an important support resistance zone. Obviously, you want to be doing this, your technical analysis, with this as well. All right, technical analysis always has to be there. And this is a C trading day, as you can see. Only scalp or reduce size if it's a standard day. No apex, no high tension, mixed or routine vector. Price is in the middle of a range. For that, if you are in the middle of a range, what you can do is go up or down, but I always like to trade the top and the bottom of a range if you understand you're in a range. And how can you do that? You can still use that to use the times, and you can also use the weekly market timing, all right, which we'll take a look at later on as well. So just, draw your lines like this. Let's do it like on Bitcoin. Like, for example, we're in a range right now, right? If you think about it, right? We're going sideways in a range, right? So selling the high, buying the low is an option if we're going sideways. Obviously here we want to go short, right? The reason we want to go short is because that was a TSM level, and we're like over. Okay, so we're looking for a sell-off, and so on. You just do it according to your technical analysis. And also here, look, market's going sideways. All right, see how it's going sideways, sideways, sideways. Okay, side, side, side. So if it's a trading hour at the low and you want to buy, that's the way to go. All right. So if you know what the range is, just trade tops and bottoms for scalping. That's what I would do. And then you got a no trade day. You're in the middle of nowhere. Your technical analysis doesn't really tell you anything. So you just say, you know, I'm not trading. I'm just going to do whatever I want to do. The timing window rule. For every important CycleEdge turn date, create a trading zone. Now this I do with vertical lines. It says here T minus 24 hours to T plus 24 hours. This looks like a long, big range. And it is true. But why would you be doing that? This is for the trading days, right? Let's go into Monday. Let's go into top of Sunday, and then you'll see there, whoops. Okay, this is the top of Sunday. You'll see we got Wednesday and Thursday, 3 stars, Monday, 2 stars. So Monday, we might be looking at tops. Tuesday, stop sweeping stuff. Wednesday, Thursday is your Action Jackson day, all right? Now, this is already told to us, right? And any trade day, like here, we've got 2 days in a row. So there's a plus or minus 24-hour zone here, right? So we understand that because cycles can take a bit of time to happen, especially if the cycle is a bigger time frame. So what are we supposed to do? Well, this is why we have the intraday timing, all right, here. And also what you see here in the weekly market timing, right? As you can see, you got August 24 to 29. This week, I'm going to be doing the whole month of September as well. So all you have to do is just, you know, follow these hours as well, match it to your technical analysis. So now we're here, timing windows. So if CycleEdge marks August 10 as a turn date, the active window is 9 to 11, all right? That is the active time period. But August 10 is your date, okay? Sometimes August 11 might do a stop sweep, might do just slightly higher and then sell off and then buy, okay? So they'll do a stop sweep, but it shouldn't be too far out from your main day. For larger moves, monitor up to T plus 4 days. What does that mean? It means we should be going for a big hit, right? And does CycleEdge tell you that? Exactly. It does tell you that. If you come up again here, right, it'll tell you where we're going. So if this Monday, for example, has a direction, right, it's starting from Sunday, as you can see, going into Wednesday. So I immediately know that if the market has direction, if it starts pushing up on Monday, then I'm thinking, wait a minute, this is going to push up into Wednesday and Thursday. Or if it's pushing down, it's going to push into Wednesday, Thursday, or we're going to go side up, side down kind of style. Then I should be looking for turnarounds on Wednesday, Thursday. And this is an important piece of information. So I know what's going to happen before it happens. Okay, I know what to look out for. Okay, and that's it. Expecting a market turn window Wednesday, 19th of August. All right, so that's from last week. So the market has done tops, bottoms, right? And then Monday, 24th cycle build 5 days. And the action days are going to be right there. So this whole thing is already giving you the plan of what's going to happen. All you have to do is put your technical analysis and say, okay, at these price levels, I should be looking for these. This is what I'm looking for. These are the days. And then you look for the hours as well. So let's go to Monday. Oops, this is Monday, right? Here we are. This is Monday. You look for trap-like reversals, momentum push continuation, trap-like reversal, trap-like reversal. Look, this is New York. This is London. Okay? You know the hours these are going to happen. If you watch my previous videos as well on the channel, you know, I know they're long, but if you're investing in something, you got to have to put the time into it. Okay? And these are the hours where you can be active on Monday, all right, and also include on Monday, obviously here, your weekly market timing, because that's just going to give you a lot of insight and light as when things are going to happen and after what. Normally we have a trap-like reversal and then the market moves. it does make a move, and it's like waiting for it, you know. Momentum push, it pushes to a level, and then after that time zone, let's say it's 8:25, right? And then look, we've got a 9:30. The market pushes somewhere, and if it's pushing to a price level that matches your technical analysis, then 9:30 is going to be your turnaround. You can expect the market to turn or break. So knowing this is really like, you know, it's like somebody giving you tomorrow's newspaper today. Now, on top of that, all you have to do is obviously do the technical analysis, right? Now, any kind of technical analysis is good. This is how I do stuff. As you can see here, I've got monthly. And the main thing I use for the monthly is my trend lines and the TSM indicator. TSM indicator I will use on the monthly, weekly, daily, because what this does, I haven't seen any other indicator do. It's a time, space, motion. It will measure according to the market where the price is going to go to. Weekly. Now this is the weekly look. This is Bitcoin. I actually gave this price to a fintech hedge fund last week. I said, because they're checking out what I'm doing, and I said to them, okay, you know what? Prices, we need to go to 58.59, which is 76,963, 77,774. Right, so 77,774. Let's say 77,774 is like here on the weekly. All right, and then that is 76,963. And then on the daily, okay, we're already up and running, so there was nothing to talk about. Okay, so that was it. And the market came there, as you can see, it closed under there. It went a little higher. If I tidy this up a little bit so you guys can see it, okay, and that's how it is. Now, as you can see, it stopped, swept everything along here, and that's logical. Okay, so now we should have some kind of a sideways formation. We're either going to complete the move or we're going to dump it. So knowing a trade day, saying, okay, we're going to have a trade day. If it's at the tops, we want to sell off. Okay, or if it comes down, we want to buy to the upside, then during the week we're going to be looking for that. But it's obvious where we're following things to, and it's obvious where things are going with the time and the price. Okay, the same kind of thing I gave for gold as well the other day. Let me just bring this down, because I do recall, what was that, 58.59? Yeah, that's it, 77,774 on the 15-minute chart. That is, it's 78.94, because I thought it was a different number. It's 78.924. Why? Because, guys, okay, we have a new bar. All right, that's why. Sunday, remember? We have a new bar. That's why those price levels, because I was thinking it's supposed to be higher, and it was, because the number I gave was actually that 78.924. This is what it was for Friday. We are on a Sunday now. The market is open, right? Sunday is a new day, plus it's a new weekly bar, as you can see here. So so these prices will change. Why? Because we're in a new week, and the daily ones will change because we're at a new day. Okay, so the price I gave to them was 78.924, and they were tracking it. They said, look, we're looking at it. I said, please go ahead and look at it, because that's why I gave it to you. And it went up there, and then it just sold off. As you can see, it's not going above it. Not going above. So anything, now we're in a sideways market, anything selling here with a stop loss there is going to give you money, because you know the lows, so we should at least head down there, which is going to cover your trade. You see how time and price match? The same thing for Dow Jones. Well, let's take a look at the Dow, since we're looking at Dow Jones this week as a preparation thing for next week. Let's check it out. All right, so I've opened up Dow Jones. So let's take a look at the Dow. Now this is last week. Remember, I said from here we need to check if we can buy, and I said with the indices match it to the SP 500 and Nasdaq if they got common days. And Tuesday, and I think it was Tuesday or Wednesday, they had common days together with SP 500. And then that's how it panned out. So Wednesday was a trade day for Dow Jones. Tuesday was. Look at that. Bang, bang. Now, what's important here? Check out the technical analysis and you'll see. Let's take a look at the weekly first. As you can see, we're falling from the highs on the TSM. But look at this. This is more interesting. Look what's going on here. As you can see, the TSM indicator draws the lines before this thing happens. Now, this is a recent line, but what would have TSM, check out the videos as well, they're on Vimeo, right? What would it have drawn for us? It would have drawn this for us. That's one pivot. This is another pivot, so it would have done this. Okay. And this is where we would have been, pretty much. Okay. And that's a pivot, that's a pivot. Okay. And that is Wednesday. All right. And then it would have drawn the new line from there to there, as we have here. Right? And from those levels, whoops, and from those highs, okay, you'd be looking to sell off. That's it. So as long as you got your zone, right, and this is your 15-minute chart, right? So this is your Monday, Tuesday, this is your Wednesday pullback. Look where they're pulling back into what they did on Monday and selling off. Now what? Well, let's take a look at Wednesday trade hours. Okay, so let's open up the report, right? This is Dow Jones. So let's go into last week, Wednesday. All right, so this is Monday, Tuesday. Let's take a look at Wednesday. Now look, intraday cycle enters extreme range. So intraday cycle, we're going to be at extreme range. When 6:13 my time, which is going to be, let's check it out. This is 6:13 my time, is going to be New York 9:13 in the morning, right? So I want to check out that one. And then what else do I have? I've got, look, a trap-like reversal. This is New York morning session. So let's mark them in, right? This is Dow Jones. So 342, 10 past 5. Let's put them up. 340. This is 340. Look at that, okay? 10 past 5. That's your 10 past 5 here. Now look at that trap-like reversal. That just screwed everybody over. Okay, fine. What else have I got? And I've got a momentum push continuation from 10 past 5 to 9:35. 10 past 5 to 9:35. And guys, this is 9:30 into there. All right. And now let's also check if we had anything relevant during the day. So this is also a peak day. Look. All right. So it's giving me, it's a peak day. So like selling the highs, not a bad idea. And I've got 12:35 and 11 o'clock. Let's check them out. 12:35, 11 o'clock. Let's see where 11 is. This is your 11. Market coming from 11 into 12:35. And look at that. From here we're going bang. Screw everybody over. Momentum push into 9:35. Let's see if we had anything from our intraday timing. Let's go to here in the week of August 1721. Let's check out what we had for Wednesday. Okay. And I didn't have anything except 11:15, which matches this. So 11, 11:15, market coming down. 12:30, market going up. Doing your trap, momentum push down. Easy. Easy. Okay, this is how you read the chart. So if you know this kind of stuff is going to happen beforehand, you just set yourself up, and that's it. Let's take a look at Thursday. It's a structural volatile apex day, fine. And these are the hours, okay, fine. And what are we expecting? Well, Thursday, let's check it out. Got in New York, what do I have? 4:15 to 8:40. Let's check it out Thursday. 4:15 to 8:40. Look, this is your 4:15 trap-like reversal. Screw everybody over. Coming into 8:40. Look at this. Screwed everybody over. 8:40. That screw period is over, and then we have a breakdown going into, where are we going into? 10:35. Okay, 10:35. Where's 10:35? This is your 10, guys. This is 10:35 right here. Okay, and then let's also take a look at the hours here, right? Let's check it out. What do I've got for Thursday in New York? Well, I've got 4:30 to 5:20. Let's check it out. 4:30 to 5:20. This is 5:20, and this is your 4:30 here. Look, 4:30 is there. So that's right in your trap zone. You see where everybody's getting screwed up? So that's your trap zone. And then I've got 7 o'clock. If there's direction, it can go to 8:20 and 10:35. Who gives you that kind of an information? Let's take a look at 7 o'clock. Guys, this is 7 o'clock. Market going into 8:20, 10:35. It's a breakdown. Okay, so you see how the scenario just fits in. So then you're thinking, okay, now let's say you screwed all of this up. Let's say you got it all wrong. Okay, let's say you completely misunderstood everything and you had a complete numb-knuckle day. Let's do it. So let's say, I didn't wait for the traps and I said, it's a trade hour. I'm going to go long. Okay, let's say you went long, the market made a base, and you wanted to go long here. You said, you know what, the direction is up, so I want to go long. Your stop loss would have been and should have been just under there here. The reason being is if we got the time wrong and the price wrong together, you don't want to be in that trade. That would have been your loss. If you entered the breakout, then you would have had at least 1 to 2. Why? Because your stop loss would have been just above there. Why? Because if I got the time wrong, I don't want to be mucking around. Why does it need to be up here? Because there's a little gap there. If there was no gap there, then you'd put a 1 bar stop loss just above that bar, and you should follow it through. And that's at least 1 to 2. If there is no proper risk return, obviously don't trade. Okay. I'm just showing this as a matter of timing and reading the cycle report so you can get an idea of how great this thing works. Okay, I've just done 2 days in a row. You can check out the report as long as you want, and you should just go back test everything as well. You can check them out. All the previous also CycleEdge reports, I've put them here in the archive, right? If you go into the archive, you see archived CycleEdge reports. These are the previous weeks that I did timing to. Feel free to check them out. I've got them all since I've opened up the website. This is the new website. In the previous one, I had it for like years. So just check it out, okay? And I think you should be able to have all the information there if you want to back test it. And you can check out here, if you go into the archived section, you can download July. Obviously there is no August, September, October yet. I just did the button, so I'm just going to add, and this is a zip file which you can just download. All right, now in the CycleEdge report thing, I've also put here 5 simple steps Okay, this is a sample guideline to help you integrate CycleEdge timing into your trading system. And that's basically it. Even if you're running a bot, right? Because I got a guy running a bot, and he runs the bot because it's a volatility bot, right? He runs the bot according to the hours and the days he gets from the CycleEdge report. So he's not running a bot all the time. He's just turning it on and off according to the days, and the bot is going according to the volatility direction, and that's it. Even that is like freaky. Now look at the report and find the important days. Check what type of day it is. Wait for the chart to confirm direction. Buy setup, look for these. Sell setup, look for these. So the rule is CycleEdge tells you when to pay attention. The chart tells you whether to buy or sell. And this is exactly what the guy is doing with the bot. He's saying, you know what, I'm just going to trade on these high volatility tension days, apex days, trade days, whatever days they happen to be in the week. And I'm just going to turn it on and off on those days, and that's it. And that's how you can really do stuff. Okay, so this is how we can do it, and I just got you prepared for Dow Jones next week. Obviously, if you're in the members area, make sure you check out the hours as well. Like I said, I will be adding September this week, so we'll have the full month of September weekly market timing as well soon. Have a good Sunday.